Okay, now we're going to look at how to find a missing denominator, and we're going to apply the exact same concept as we did before when we were trying to find the missing numerator. Now, the great thing about this is that they'll already have that consistency, that foundation built from the missing numerator. We're going to start out by getting rid of that fraction part, so they should notice that n is accounting for our missing denominator. So once again, we're going to pull that out and put a box in its place. So we're going to rewrite our expression now as 1 7/8 plus 1 and put a box in its place is equal to 3 13 over 24. Okay, and so now I'll ask them, well, what do you notice now about your expression? And they should notice that 8ths and 24ths are unlike denominators, and we need to create that common denominator. Now, if you're struggling, they could list their multiples for 8 and 24. The multiples for 8 are 8, 16, 24, 32. Now, I don't give those to them. I give them a moment to write them, and then we review them together just to make sure that we're all on the same page. And now I'm going to do the same thing, 24, 48, and I'm going to stop there. And we always start with the largest number to find the common multiple, and we work across. So 24, do I have a 24 up top? Oh, yeah, I do. So 24 is going to be my least common multiple that I can use to create my least common denominator. Now, some of your kids will already know 24 very fluently, but again, if there is a struggle, I can always list my multiples. Okay, so now I'm going to look at this new fraction and create an equivalent fraction. I know that 1 7/8 needs to be in terms of 24ths. So 1 can go straight down. Now I need to figure out what am I going to do to 8 to get it into terms of 24ths. 8 times what is 24? Well, 8 times 3 is 24. And they should have as a foundation from 4th grade that what they do to the denominator, they must also do to the numerator. So I'm going to also multiply 7 times 3 as well. 7 times 3 is 21. And again, I'm going to go ahead and just bring down the 1, and the empty box is equal to 3 and 13 over 24. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look at our whole numbers because those are sort of a given. Well, I have 1, 1, and 3. Clearly, we know that 1 plus 1 is not 3. And so I tell them, well, if I have 1 plus 1, that's 2. How many more wholes do we need in order to get to 3? And they'll say 1. So we actually are going to get rid of our wholes and put a 1 in the place of the 3. These two cancel each other out, and that leaves one more whole that we need to create. So now we're going to rewrite it, 21 over 24 plus empty box is equal to the one more whole that we need to make plus 13 over 24. Okay, and so we're going to first talk about, well, what do I need to create the one whole? What is equal to one whole in terms of our denominator of 24? So they should realize that 24 24ths is equal to one whole. Well, if I already have 21 right here, 21 plus what is going to get me to that 24 24ths? And they should realize that if I add 3 24ths to it, that's what's going to give me that one whole. 21 plus 3 is equal to 24 24ths. But then we need to look at that fraction part. Well, I don't just need one whole, I also need this 13 24ths as well. So I'm going to add that in as well. So I have 3 24ths plus that 13 24ths. Okay, well, I know that my denominator is going to stay the same. That's a given. I have to have like denominators. And 3 plus 13 is equal to 16. So that missing fraction part is 16 24ths. However, we also note that when we look back at our original equation, our numerator was not 16, it was 2. So what do I know about equivalent fractions? What can I do to get that back with 2 as my numerator? Well, the first thing I'm going to go over with them is if I'm going from 16 and I need to go back down to 2, am I going to multiply or divide? And they should realize, since I'm going from a larger to a smaller, that I need to divide. So 16 divided by what is 2? And that 16 divided by 8 is 2. So if I did that to the top, I also need to do that to the bottom. Again, if I do it to the numerator, I have to do it to the denominator. So I need to do 24 divided by 8 as well. So 24 divided by 8 is equal to 3. So my missing denominator is 3.